Cool. 16 people on. That's what's up. That's what's up. 16 people. That's fine. So this is something I don't really want to touch. I haven't touched it this week. I touched it this morning and pretty much broke even. It's not something I really want to touch, even though on paper it is a very good, setup to the upside now, just based off what I'm saying. So how we left off last week, right? This low was broken, right? But immediately, engulfed. And that's scary. Like I would have wanted to see something struggle up to the upside. But due to the fact that it not only engulfed, but it's continuing to impulse, right? It's really looking like, let's see, oops. Yeah, it's looking like there's a very good possibility this can take out equal highs here. Do I want it to? Absolutely not. Fuck that. I do not want to see this go up. Just because, well, I mean, either way, it's fine either way, just in the fact that if this does break highs, then I'll be looking to take out, then this recent high now. That would be the next target. But I'm just really just waiting, seeing what it wants to do, just because this week is looking really pretty much how I feel about it. We do have NFP on Friday, I believe. Probably won't do much, honestly. Probably won't do anything at all, but we'll have to see. It's I don't know. It's looking interesting. But as of now, from an intraday point, this is looking super corrective. Right? You can see that it's super corrective. Ooh, that's ugly. That's uglier. Yeah, you get the point. It's looking pretty, pretty corrective, but it's just like we're at a point right now where we really don't know if this really wants to continue up or wants to come down. Like, let's look at momentum here. Honestly, I'm pretty sure it might be to the upside. Yeah, so this upside move is a bit quicker, but this is one of those scenarios where I just really want to wait and see what it does. I want to see what tomorrow's reaction and overlap does. I do see this continuing a bit higher, or if this is the high and it pretty much, gives a reaction to the downside, then I want to see if this low sustains itself. And then if it doesn't, then I'll be looking for that reaction setup, to the downside. But I think this is too easy. I think that sell right there is too easy, especially on EU. Let me show you EU. It's like, look, based off of structure alone, all right, continuous lower highs. All right, and now, all right, that's a set of equal lows. So I really want to see this dip down. We did tap, I remember 2 weeks ago, I did say, or 1 week ago, that there's the possibility of this still being inefficient pricing, which it was. So as you can see, price returned, right? So zooming in a little bit, there's obviously two POIs here. All right, there's obviously inefficient pricing there that lines up with that potential SC open of, I'm pretty sure 2 hour, 3 hour. Yeah, 2 hour, as you can see, technically. And there's also the option that there's inefficient pricing there. So I really want to see just what happens. I do see this continuing lower. I would really like to see it continue lower, right? Give some type of reaction anywhere, continue lower, because I do want to see those equal lows taken out before we even consider trying to buy this. Because if this gives a reaction to the upside, right, this might continue to target these lows. So it's like, it's messy as fuck. Like I hate that. Like a couple weeks ago, this is moving really smooth, and then now once again it's back at its range. Like which is cool. But I mean, once this pops, it's gonna pop. Like it's gonna pop like really, like you're gonna see another move like this once this pops, and that's what I'm waiting on. Because technically, on paper, dollar should be dying, but at the same time, the European Union is doing super bad too. So it's like that's why you see this mess, so messy, which is fine because I don't have to risk. All I have to do is sit, chill, and see what happens. We did get one move though this week. It's a pretty cool move. All right, which was this move here. And let me explain that move for you guys real quick. All right, so as you can see, during London, we got this whiplash pretty much where we took out previous highs there just to immediately then give the real move to the downside. Right? Why did this move happen? Let's see if we can figure it out. Right, so technically relative equal highs, not really, oh yeah, technically equal highs right there kind of. But that's the point. That's just obviously, like I said, at the target. Now, why did this wick happen? Inefficiency there, as you can see. And if we zoom in there, I don't know if we would have gotten an entry, but this is actually a London move. Yeah, 3 a.m. London, like an hour into 2 hours into it. Yeah, that would have been tough. So you see that automatically reacted from the inefficiency. And then your re-entry would have been here, which is, you know, inefficiency fill there, here, and then continue lower. It was pretty interesting. I saw that, but it did give you that second opportunity, and that's what matters here. I personally didn't take it just because I wasn't really looking to trade the day. I think it was Monday. No, it was yesterday actually. Yeah, I wasn't fully sure what direction this wanted to take, so I just let it go. From what we can see here. So here, right, this was that move during London. So highlighting my time frame, right? This is New York open, and this is New York closure. So this is our entire overlap session, as you can see. Let me skip. Cool. So now that's what happened in this entire, you know, time of interest. I just call it that, time of interest. So when we're dealing with a scenario like this, we have to understand structure, obviously. So as you can see here, break of the low, right? So now if anything, any retracement to the upside is a correction, right? So this presented a buy opportunity right around New York open, and that's fine. I took that myself too. Actually, did I? Yeah, I did. I think, I don't remember. But anyways, the point was this initial move from open was just a reaction to the upside, right? That fills inefficiency here, fills inefficiency there to then continue lower. So structure broke to the downside, as you can see, right? So now the first POI from this intraday standpoint is that inefficiency fill right there. And if we zoom in, all right, it's pretty much the same thing. So looking for an entry here. It was pretty good entry. I mean, I'll show you both perspectives. The perspective if you only have access to M1, and I'll give you the second perspective, which is the second time frame. So looking at this here, right, we're looking at structure, technically structure on second time frame, right? So we see the reaction from the POI, right? If you would have tried to take that entry, even though it really logically doesn't make sense, even though you know it'll reverse around there, but it's just like, how do you determine a stop, right? So even if, so you would have had to put at least a 4 to 5 pip stop, but there's no way you could guess that. So you have to wait for confirmation, right? So we're rising up, rising up, rising up. Notice diminishing, diminishing, diminishing. All right, this entire way up, we're diminishing in volume. All right, pretty much no buy volume present. So as soon as we see this move to the upside, right, you see that, no volume present, but the move still goes up. So I'm waiting to see that if this gives a reaction, this will now be my SC. It did give a reaction, and you could have essentially tried to force this here anywhere 50% and put the stop loss above the, hold on. You could have forced that there, right, with a 4 pip stop loss relative, or you could have waited, right, to see some type of structure shift. So as you can see, all right, we're getting the reaction here, and something to note too is 2 engulfing candles on unsupported bullish volume. All right, so that's honestly, that's enough for you to risk. It's just you need to find a reason to, which is that, but you also need to find a way to place a stop loss. So in theory, right, you see these lows here, right? You then see the reaction occur. The reaction occurs, takes out essentially a structure point here. Right, let me delete all this stuff. This is looking ugly. All right, so essentially this could be a break of structure there. So all right, high to low, you can even do to the previous high. Either way is fine. I would do the whole thing. Right, so we essentially have a break of structure from this minute time frame, because I know that ideally based on structure, I don't want to see it break a previous high. I would like to see this continue if it's still an uptrend. All right, so obviously that broke, and the structure will make more sense in the second time frame, but I'll show you guys in a minute. So now, as you can see, from a sell perspective, you want to take premium pricing, right? And obviously anywhere in here would be an entry. Let's say you waited for that closure, right? 4 pip, 5 pip. You can even be aggressive, give it a 2.5, because you can consider this a structure point. But something to note here is 100% if I saw this here, I would have taken this, right? I don't care if I'm not waiting for price action here. It's just the fact that I would have waited for this closure, because look at how impulsive this closure is, but literally there's no volume present. So much more bearish volume present, but there isn't any bullish volume present. So from there, I would have been aggressive, right? Maybe 4 pips stop there, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then just take that, write that down. From an intraday standpoint, let's see. So obviously one of your main targets is previous lows, as you can see, but a good intraday target could have been here at the open here, because this could have potentially been an SC, and this could have pretty much given a good reaction and then taken off. So that would have been a good target one, which is the opposite play, which is a 3-to-1, and then obviously taking this any day now. All right, this is starting to bother me. Okay, all right, there we go. Cool, so then the next target, all right, which is about 12 to 15 hours later, 12-to-1 trade, cool. And you could have written that for the rest of the day, right? Especially if you're paying attention to daily closures. All right, as you can see, 20-to-1, and let's jump to real time, pretty much 20-to-1, all right, which is solid, not the best, can be better. you guys know that we would love to have this at a 2-to-1, and you can see it just multiplies that. But now it's the cool stuff. All right, so same POI. I'm just gonna put that there for entry purpose, or just to help clarity. All right, so let's see. So as we can see, right, as discussed before, diminishing volume, or actually even no volume present at these highs here. Good sign. So we look in the 30-second, we look in the 15-second. All right, cool. So depending on how aggressive you want to be, right, you can easily consider this equal highs, right? We then take those equal highs, right, on unsupported volume, no volume present, give a reaction, take out previous structure here, then this comes back, and essentially feels an efficiency there, as you can see, right? You now see indecision, and then you now see an inverted hammer. So that would have been enough for me to want to risk. Obviously, I don't like going below a 2-pip, but in theory, this could have been way, way less. I mean, yeah, either way, the 2-pip would have made sense. 1.52, but the 2-pip would have made sense there. But as you can see, that's instant profit. And that's already a 5-to-1 there. But a lot of us aren't that aggressive. A lot of us like to be more conservative. So let's say you really waited to see this structure here break. Cool. You saw it break. Right now, this is the full-on structure break, not just the scalping structure, it's actual intraday structure. So we return back and notice this right here. Right, so when we go to the 5-second, it's not giving us anything, but in theory, we know that there is an SC there, somewhere in that 5-second candle. And I'm gonna show you why we can't actually see it because we don't have anything other than the 1 second there. But as you can see, it's not, it doesn't give us anything. But here's where logic comes into play, right? I can literally see here from this candle that this wick takes out the previous liquidity of that high there. So I know that somewhere in this candle, there is an SC. Also, due to structure rules, if this high breaks, then this is going to straight up do that, right? So in this perspective, just like as we would do on the M1 before we had access to seconds time frames, we would essentially highlight the entire candle as a POI. Right, and this itself is pretty much a 1/2 pip range. Right, so anywhere there you want to risk. And the cool thing about here is it's also a 2-pip risk because, well, I mean, it's even less, but in reality, I'm not really going to do a 1-pip stop because I think that's a stupid way to lose 1%. But you can even do 2%. I mean, 2% too. A 2-pip stop loss, or you can even do 2%, up to you. But now from here, that's already first target intraday here, 4-to-1, right? And that is in actual seconds. That is from 9:02 to 9:04. So you just made 4% on account in 2.5 minutes. Crazy, right? Crazy. So now let's look at this from realistically, let's say we would have taken a century realistically, right? We aren't targeting these seconds time frames, right? We're obviously targeting intraday lows and intraday highs for our first target, right? So now, as I said, that first target is there, here, right? 4-to-1, right? You can easily take this trade on a smaller stop loss, but I'm just telling you how I would have played it. And then from there, right, you ride that down to your intraday target, which is already 26 to 1. So as you can see, this is already better than the entire trade from the first demonstration, right? And then currently, that would be around 41, right? But imagine if you took that on a 1 pip stop, or what if you thought that was a big stop loss for that trade and you took 2% risk? You know, it's all about adapting to it and just however you want to play it. Like that's what I like you guys to do is I want you to be versatile with it. I really want you to find what works for you and take it from there. But yeah, I mean that's cool. You know, 5-second entry, it's 41 to 1. Obviously 2% risk, that would have been an 80 pip trade. I mean 80% trade. But yeah, I mean it's really cool. You know, it's tough seeing it in actual live price. But once you see it once, you're never gonna unsee it, and I promise you that. But yeah, I mean that's pretty much my little rant for today. I do want to see this continue lower. It makes so much sense, and not to mention London usually likes to see a spike in, so I'd like to see a spike downwards. Outside of that, I mean, I haven't really seen anything on EU besides that one move. But yeah, I mean, does anybody have any questions? Intraday structure versus scalping structure. It's just like my M1 and honestly M5 and below, I consider that scalping structure. M3 and below. But then M5 up, M15, M30, I consider that intraday structure. And then like big highs like in H4 and stuff, I call those more swing targets. But yeah, I mean, how's everybody doing? You chilling? Good? How's the course? How's everything?
I just started the course a few days ago, and I'm loving how they're short videos, but like very detailed, straight to the point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bro. Oh, dude, like that's the one thing about like a lot of stuff for us people like me, I fucking love to rant, but it's like you guys will get bored of it, and then like a lot of people's attention span is very small. So it's like they'll get annoyed when they like see stuff like that, you know? Or like do that.
No, yeah, I understand exactly what you mean, but like, not gonna lie, I've been through a few other courses, and like when I kind of saw that it was an hour-long video for a topic, I was like, dang, I really got to sit here for an hour to understand this. It's perfect.
Yeah, I mean if it takes an hour to fucking say something, then honestly you probably don't even know what you're talking about. Unless it's like something very, very, very big, like you're trying to like give a whole curriculum. But if you're just trying to do one small topic in 1 hour, then Importance of closures. I mean, that's just all higher time frame, bro. For example, me, all right, I'll do everything from a logic perspective. So the reason why I wanted to buy EU today was because of this, closure, this is the open. Yeah. So this is like an hour after open of New York. So now I see a bullish reversal candle that can potentially, start giving a reaction to the upside. And what makes this different from this is the fact that it's bullish and this is bearish. So with this being bearish, I wouldn't be inclined to want to buy this. I'd be more so looking for the opposite bias. And that's something that I used to teach a lot is like, who here's, let me see, has anybody in here been in RCV for like forever? I don't think anybody has. Nah, nobody has. Damn, that's crazy. I used to like back in the day when I was teaching the straight up Wyckoff. I used to say, Sergio maybe remembers this, but it's like bullish closures are more likely to happen on a bullish candle than they are to happen on a bearish candle. So what I pretty much mean by that is like, notice this closure is a bullish closure, but it's actually a bullish candle. this is technically a bullish candle. I mean, a bullish reversal candle, whatever, but it's actually a bearish candle. So I'm more inclined to want to take that bullish candle. So that's something I used to teach a long time ago. I don't really use it as much anymore. It's kind of just second nature now. But it's like whenever I see something like this, I'm not confident that it'll reverse. It's obviously very subjective, as seen here, you know. Right, it's very subjective, but it's just something that's always in the back of my mind when I'm trying to essentially catch a reversal like this, like a swing reversal. But yeah, I mean, it's not really the most important thing. But what is good to know is just how candles close. Like for example, once I see this candle here, this H4 closure here, I'm not wanting to buy yet because this closure is stupid bearish. And then as you can see, the next candle then took out that previous candle's low. So if I would have bought, that would have hit SL no matter what, you know? So that's all it is. And it's just like, you know, like how we see these daily closures here, right? This is a whole reversal pattern here. And 2, 3 big bearish candles. So it's like I'm thinking twice before I really want to buy it, you know?
Hey, Fredo, I got a question on that real quick.
Mm-hmm.
So you see how that wick right there took out that previous high?
Mm-hmm.
Would you consider that a break of structure, even if it just wicked it out?
On smaller time frame, technically. It's the same thing that DXY did to the downside, but it's just like my issue is how fast it came back. That's my issue. That it literally came back and it impulsed, like, you know, very, very strongly.
It impulsed rather than correcting
Yeah.
down.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So in theory, if I would have wanted to see this go up, I wouldn't have wanted to see this wick here break.
Oh, okay.
Because that's the BOS there. So it's just like now we're back in premium. Yeah, we're back in discount. I'm sorry, we're back in discount there. But it's just like no, it's sloppy, man. Yeah, I would like to see this range though. Let me hold on. Would like to see this range here. Just give a spike down in reaction. That's really what I want to see there. But if we give a reaction and it stays here, then we're probably going to see this roll over. And if we break this low here, then that is a wrap for this. This is going to just take out every low. Yeah, whoever that is, can you please mute yourself? Thank you. But yeah, so it's like, it's all structure, but it's also like intuition. That's all it is intuition. It's just, and the only way you gain intuition is through experience. But yeah, I mean, just look at how sloppy this is. It's like, the fuck, like, you know? But if structure breaks a high and a low, then that's where you learn to figure it out, bro. That's exactly what EU did. So what are you gonna do now? That's literally what EU did. So what do you do now? No, like I'm being serious. Like that's not a rhetorical question. What do you do now that this took out both highs and lows? I'll sit here for 2 minutes. Exactly, you wait it out. But it's also you gotta like remember what I tell you guys. It's like when in doubt, zoom out. Fuck, like look at monthly closures, look at weekly closures. Find something that'll direct you a bias. And obviously, the only reason why I'm still even considering being bullish on this is that 50% out there. Right, so it's just sloppy, but I wouldn't be surprised if it rolled over too. It's just that's not what I want, obviously. But just seeing how bad the European Union is just like it might be hard to see bullishness in the euro anytime soon. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, there isn't really much to go over. It's just boring. This is boring. It's not moving. Well, it is moving, but it's not moving much. I just look at this, and today's range was, I think, like 40, 50 pips. Yeah, 40 pips. Yeah, I'll talk about that after the call. I mean, I'm gonna post it after the call. Don't worry about that. I don't trade AU, but let's see. Equal lows, technically. Equal lows, technically. As you can see, price is struggling to push up. Price is struggling. Right, structure is definitely the downside here, especially for intraday for sure. Obviously, unless these highs here break, then obviously that would invalidate that. It's actually at a key moment right now. Key moment right now. And this is an AUD pair, so these like to move around Tokyo session. Yeah, that's interesting. Let me see how the H4 was. That would, yeah, actually, never mind. Yeah, that bullish closure there is not pretty. Wait and see what happens after these 2 hours, and then see what happens by the time you get to overlap, and you go from there. Because if this obviously closes as like an inverted hammer or anything, then you're good for downside. But this is a worry here. 100%. That's a worry there. If I'm in sales, I would hate to see that. But it's also, technically, it did leave equal highs. I mean, equal highs, equal lows. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that does not look good. And this closes in 15 minutes. That does not look good at all. But let's see if did that mitigate something? Did it? Let's see. Doesn't look like it. Unless you want to dive into the seconds time frame there, this would have been anywhere in that small range there. Yeah, as you can see there. That sucks. That literally tapped 50% of that, I believe. Yeah, 50% to the T there. Right, unsupported bearish volume, continuation of bearish movement, instability, right? Enter anywhere in there. Stop loss at the low. 4 pip stop. And you'd be riding that. Interesting. And there is the issue here that this is technically a BOS. But that's just an intraday BOS. That's not like a full structure shift on the swing time frame. No, yeah, that looks like it wants to keep going for now. But unless you see that break there, then it'll continue. But yeah, that's pretty ugly. Yeah, just wait and see for tomorrow. But I hate that it broke that structure there. That's the issue there. That did break structure. And those H4 and H3 closures are ugly, so why do you drop AU as a pair? I can't pay attention to more than like 2 pairs at a time. I just can't. So I just look at DXY and I look at EU. And occasionally look at GU. I used to trade UCAD a lot, but it just got really sloppy for me. I didn't like it when it was here. Yeah, no. I mean, even now it's sloppy. Look at it. You do have a set of equal lows there, but there's no sell scenario happening yet, especially because this is bullish structure continuation. So unless you see anything there, yeah, it's not. It's see like this is just looking boring. Everything's been sloppy though. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. No, yeah, that's fine.
Would you consider that break of structure right there, and then within that little area, within that area of interest, make that an area of interest?
Where?
Where that wick is at? The last wick.
This here?
That big wick, more to the left.
This here?
Yes.
Yeah.
Would you
Yeah.
consider that break of structure, and then?
Yeah, I said that here. So I said this would be a breaker structure here, and then this would have been the continuation from that earlier play, from the 15-minute play.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, so that would have been your incentive to essentially want to sell that. Pretty annoying. Yeah, I mean, honestly, this looks like it still wants to continue. It's just I'm just really paying attention to these higher lows there. I mean, lower highs. I'm sorry. So it's just like this just looks like any type of correction to downside. It's just, yeah, and it's just, look at how ugly this is. Like, what else can I say about that besides the fact that there's equal lows there and consecutive lower highs. Yeah, but all right, so I'm pretty sure that's enough for charts today. I do want to have a conversation though. You can tell me, or you can type it, or you can just not say anything. It's like, I want to know what your personal goal with trading is after you master this stuff, after you learn how to properly enter trades, get high RRs. Like, what's your goal beyond that? And if you don't have one, just say it. Let's see who has the balls to say it. Travel, spend more time with family. Cool. Who else? I want to know everything. I want to know everyone. There's a reason to this. There's different motives. That's fine. I don't care what it is, but just either say it or type it or whatever, or just you say you don't have one.
Trying to make enough to build a crib.
Yeah, I see that. Start a hedge fund, private equity firm. Cool. Increase my capital to be able to invest into multiple assets. Buy a drift car. Fuck yes, do that. Freedom, invest in real estate. To be honest, I don't know. It's fine. Set family for life, real estate. Help out family and travel. Start of the side hustles, freedom, early retirement, travel, family time. Cool. So we have one person that wants to go the fund route. Right. And that used to be me, actually. I used to really want to take, my study seriously and get my, my finance degree and get my licenses and all that. But eventually I just realized that it'll bring you a fuck ton of money, but bro, I do not want a job again. Like, I never want a job again. And so once I realized that, I made another goal. So my goal was to fully master these charts, right? I can already pinpoint, I can tell you exactly why something will reverse to the absolute second on why it happened. But obviously it's extremely hard to determine when and where it'll happen, right? Because if we knew when and where it'll happen, then we would never see a loss. So my objective now is to figure out how to know exactly pinpoint when and where pretty much a daily high or a daily low will occur. So how do you reach that? Well, honestly, there is no information out there that will ever teach you that. Because if you figure that out, honestly, you'll probably become one of the most wanted in the fucking world. Because, right, no firm knows exactly where, price will reverse, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And we're told that different assets, or technically move differently, have different behaviors, et cetera, which they kind of do have different behaviors. But at the end of the day, you guys know that with these concepts, you can pinpoint, reversals and stuff like that. And you can literally see that reversal happen, or you can even catch the move yourself. And you guys know that, for example, this is a good, like, one of the only examples I'm going to make is, like, you guys know that Bitcoin and all that is seen as, like, in pretty much an unregulated type of currency, et cetera, right? Like, that's what we're told. Fuck, somebody say yes so I can continue. Fuck. Thank you. Yes, exactly. So we're taught that pretty much, this is decentralized and stuff, and this moves randomly and all that. But why is it that these same concepts move and happen in that type of, asset, in that asset class, in cryptos? Why does it happen there? If people say it's decentralized, how come these concepts work? And I want you to think about that before you give me an answer. I'm gonna give you guys like 2 minutes.
Can you repeat that question, please?
If Bitcoin and Ripple and every other cryptocurrency is decentralized and essentially not controlled by the government, why do these concepts work? Hold on. Underlying algo. Exactly. It's decentralized by the government, but since when does the government control price? The government doesn't give banks their liquidity feeds so that they can trade on. The liquidity feeds are obtained through the Fed. So the Fed pretty much is the single entity that determines where price will go, right? The Fed is a reserve, right? You guys know that. You should know that. So my goal now is to crack that code. We already have a piece to it because we can literally backtrack any move to the T. Nobody can say that. Absolutely nobody. Not even these so-called institutional or smart money and Wyckoff refined traders. They cannot do that. But I've shown you here that you can backtrack every single move. So we obviously have cracked a small part of the code. I'm not going to say we cracked the code because, like I said, we don't know when and where exactly it'll happen. So in order to learn about that, you have to obviously first learn what the Fed is and how it works. But then you have to pretty much understand how pricing works. And I wrote this down. Let me find this message, this note. Where is it? So there's a question that I asked myself, and it was like, how come? Well, obviously that was the first question. The whole BTC question was, how is it that it's decentralized, but everything still works in the same manner? And my second question to myself was, hold on, where is it? Is how come we are given all these tools, like let's say, oh shit, what did I do? Why is it that we're given all these tools, aka trading view, we're given volume, we're given candlesticks, we're given line graphs, bar graphs, line graphs, Renko, point and figures, right? The stuff that Wyckoff used to use. But how come people can't crack the code? There's literally no reason as to why we can't crack the code if we're given these quote unquote resources, right? Unless, we're being tricked. And I believe we are. I believe that everything on this chart is pretty much irrelevant. And I feel like the only thing that will ever matter at the end of the day is price. Because, think about it. How do people like fucking William Gunn, how do people, billionaires from back in the day, how did they made a fortune from trading? How do they make a fortune from trading when they can't even look at a chart? And someone answer me that.
Insider info?
Maybe, yeah. But how do they make millions and stuff? How do they make all this wealth? Yeah, mention Gunn, yeah. Gunn, there's this other guy, I forgot his name. But yeah, these people would make fucking millions and they didn't even have a chart accessible. They would have to draw their own charts, and follow price in their own way, but they somehow still make millions. And it makes no sense, but that's because the answer to the code, the answer to everything is literally right in front of our fucking faces, but we don't see it. We are unable to read it. Right? And I feel like once it's cracked, you're literally going to be like, holy fuck. Exactly. So the one thing that we have now that they also had back then is price. But now the issue from here is understanding how we can pretty much use the measurement of price to allow us to crack the code. All right. So just for the people that don't know, the Fed gives, its liquidity to institutions, firms, etc. And it gives the government money so that whenever we need money, etc., etc. That's a whole long story. I don't want to get into that, but that's just a simple way of putting it. Right? We get our money from the Fed, meaning that the Fed influences dollar value. So if we can figure out why and how the Fed changes price, then we can determine when and how price will change. Does that make sense? So that's my goal in comparison to everybody else's from here. It's I want, in the next 10 years, I want to crack this code. And after that, obviously share it with you guys and then disappear. So yeah, it's very fucking complicated because obviously nobody's cracked it. I don't know. Oh, I'm not gonna say nobody's cracked it. Obviously people have cracked it, but a lot of people that have cracked it obviously are from back in the days. Now people that have cracked the code probably don't even exist on social media or anywhere. These guys just live a happy life on their own. But I feel like the answer to everything is literally right in front of our eyes and we literally do not see it. And that fucking bothers me. Literally the answer to every single worry in life is right in front of your eyes and you do not see it. Right? So am I the only one that bothers, or did you guys just not think about that ever? Or does it bother you now?
Yeah, I think it's more of a even if we don't see it, or some of us may get a hint of the answer, it's just are we willing to take action on it?
Exactly. But you cannot take action when you do not know. You didn't even know this existed. I just gave you a whole new perspective. Right? So now you've never thought about it, but now that I've told you, how do you feel? Yeah, it's bugging me now that you say, exactly, it's bugging you now. So what are you going to do about it?
Figure it out.
Exactly. Go fucking figure it out. if it takes you 10, 20, 30 fucking years, fuck it, bro. Because after that, you're free forever. Which is why I don't give a fuck to start my own fund. I don't give a fuck to run a hedge fund. I don't give a fuck to run. If I were given the opportunity to run Goldman Sachs, fuck that. I would never do that. Obviously, I don't want to ever work again. But it's like, bro, the answer to our dreams is in front of us and we cannot read it.
I mean, that goes for trading in general. Like before,
That goes for everything. Because,
yeah.
bro, if you crack this code for forex, this applies to any type of asset class because they all work the same. And I believe that all of this is in artificial intelligence that pretty much thinks on its own, which is why people don't really know what happens because there's no person that knows it. Obviously, people that work in the Fed know it, but it's like it's a straight up algorithm that you're trying to, crack the code for. So once you crack that code, you've literally found the answer to unlimited money.
I mean, because before Inefficiency, you just saw like a chart, before you knew any of that, you just saw a chart and you couldn't see that shit till somebody, taught you it type shit,
Exactly. Or until you figured it out.
Yeah, until you figured it out or until you learned
Yeah,
it.
exactly. But it's like, this is one of those things where how the fuck do you figure it out? So I'm probably, that's my goal. I'm dedicating probably the next 5 to 6 years to trying to figure that out. Obviously, I don't even know where to start because anything given online is not going to be helpful, right? Unless you read between the lines and somehow combine everything together. But it's like,
I think it's just all intuition. Man.
Exactly. So that's what I think because, bro, whenever like the whole SC rules, the inefficiency rules, I made them, bro. I did not get those from anybody. I made them myself from my studying and everything, which is why the rules that you see for the stuff that I show you guys, you don't see it anywhere else unless they've learned from me, obviously. But when you really think about it, and we've already cracked the part of the code, you have to assume that it's all intuition because it's obviously an algorithm that follows pattern. So you have to crack that pattern. Honestly, like even if you crack it, I wouldn't want you to tell me. I'd want you to disappear. But yeah, that's something cool to think about though. Cause it literally starts fucking bothering. Like it really like it fucking bothers me that I don't know the full answer and that I don't know. Yo, shut up. Bro. No, fuck no. Shut up. But yeah, that bothers me because it's like yo, the answer is literally in front of our fucking eyes. And the answer, this is literally the answer to everything. But we don't know how to interpret it. Like, dude, literally the key to everything is right in front of you. It's all math. It's all numbers. It's all about value, intuition, right? That intuition, once you gain that sense of does it make sense, that's intuition. And I don't want to get like, oh, conspiracy theory, like, nah, I'm good on that. But it's like, I'm scared that if I ever crack it, like I'm gonna be wanted by fucking, the cabal or some shit,
I mean, you really think it's like that deep?
Yeah, bro, I think it's that deep, 100 fucking percent. People don't just let other people with that type of knowledge walk around casually, bro.
Yeah, I mean, with the amount of money you can make, you basically hold so much power just with the knowledge.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. So it's like these guys have to keep you regulated, or else,
I mean, but
they
there's
just
people out there that have cracked it, and
name them.
Yeah.
Exactly. We can assume that people have cracked it, but we, at the end of the day, we don't know if anybody who's cracked it. So that could be, your life fucking mission,
Yeah. crazy to think about.
Exactly. But yeah, that's kind of just what I wanted to talk about. Just pretty much bother you all for a little bit because now you're going to be thinking about that all night.
Yeah, I was gonna say what a way to end the Zoom.
I think two of y'all were talking at the same time. I couldn't hear either one.
I said you're gonna go missing tomorrow morning.
Nah, because I haven't cracked it. Yeah, man. Fuck your fund. Fuck everything. Fuck all of that. No fund manager knows it either. So it's like, you know. So like so in summary, pretty much it's just what does the Fed have to do to prepare to move price? It has to do something in order to then, that will be the catalyst to, you know, influence the Fed to change price. Like it's so close. And it's so crazy because most of us here are in between 20 and 40, you know? We're still fucking young. Because if you crack it, that is literally freedom. But yeah, I'm gonna end it at that and then just have a thought about that.